let's now bring you the tribute to veteran Congress leader and three-time Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit, who passed away yesterday of a cardiac arrest. Her mortal remains are currently being taken to Nigambodh Ghat, where she'll be laid to rest with full state honours credited for transforming the face of the national capital. Sheila Dikshit was Chief Minister of Delhi for 15 long years, from 1998 to 2013. A two-day state of mourning has been declared, with leaders across all party lines coming to pay tribute. Well, my colleague Meenakshi Bhanja is joining us live. She's our deputy news editor. Meenakshi, so the political class all across the country would have stories to tell of their interactions with Sheila Dikshit, of their dealings with her, and uniting today to pay tribute to the former Chief Minister.
Well, that's right. And what was really a testament to her lasting legacy was the fact how the Prime Minister himself chose to visit the narrow lanes of Nizamuddin East, where her residence was subsequent to her relinquishing power of Chief Minister Delhi. And he also visited right inside the residence, and he paid his homage to Sheila Dikshit. And not just that, since morning we have been outside the AICC headquarters, and all her colleagues, from Chief Ministers to Deputy Chief Ministers, Rajasthan, Sachin Pilot, to Kapil Sibal. We've had conversations with numerous of them on record, on camera, from the ally partners of the Congress, likes of A. Raja, Kapil Sibal, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, and also Chief Minister Puducherry and Narayanaswamy have been on record to Mirror Now to explain their memories of Sheila Dikshit and her lasting legacy, one which has been that of giving Delhi this modern look, this facelift, which today puts Delhi in the legion of some top Southeast Asian cities. And that apart, of course, her ability to navigate through complex political scenarios, which saw that despite there being a BJP government at the central leadership position during the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, when she was serving Chief Minister of Congress in Delhi, we never saw the situation escalate to a level where the communication completely broke down, or the row between the central leadership and the Delhi leadership, escalated to such an extent that the governance was impacted on ground. So those are some remarkable aspects of her tenure for which she is going to be remembered. And that apart, what Kapil Sibal and also others like Adhir Ranjan told Mirror Now was her ability to really have this motherly instinct and affection for all concerned. It was not just limited to her party members, but also people who had disparate ideological beliefs and backgrounds. Even they could come and they could even criticize and cite their differences, but she was someone who knew how to take those differences. She knew how to harmonize those differences, and she also knew how to take them all together and really work towards the larger goal of the Delhi citizen.
That's right, Meenakshi, and we, as you alluded to, we spoke to quite a few senior leaders in the national capital, cutting across party lines, who've come to pay tribute to the former Chief Minister, Sheila Dikshit. Here's Meenakshi speaking to Kapil Sibal, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, and the Chief Minister of Puducherry, Narayanaswamy.
Sir, how are you going to remember her?
Well, you know, she was a personal friend. We always had affection for each other. She greeted me always with warmth, never with anger. And when she discussed issues with me, also those issues were never discussed with any grievance to anybody. And that was a great quality, a human being of extraordinary principles. She was affectionate, she had no rancor, and she was modern in her outlook. She always wanted to give the best to the citizens of Delhi, to the residents of Delhi. And she always tried to make sure that the Congress party's flock is always intact and together, and she was able to achieve that. And she also had a great affection and commitment to our culture. You know, she would talk of our cultural traditions. So she had a great personality in that she embraced modernism, and yet was committed to our own culture.
One very quick question, sir. In her tenure, we never saw communication breakdown between the central government and the Delhi government, despite at one time BJP being in center.
And that's correct. And whenever there was a problem, she would go to Vajpayee ji and say, look, let's resolve this. And Vajpayee also was a great statesman, and therefore he would resolve it also. So it's what, when it takes two hands to clap. But she was the one who took the initiative, and that's a great something that we always remember.
Joining us, leader of the Congress party in Lok Sabha, Shri Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Sir, your memories of Sheila Dikshit?
See, Sheila Dikshit, as a leader of a political party and as a Chief Minister of Delhi, has already proved her mettle, her acumen, her generosity. Insofar as memory of Sheila Dikshit is concerned, what will always be remained as an indelible mark in our memory is her motherly behavior, motherly attitude towards us. So we should not confine Sheila Dikshit ji as a leader of any political party. For the last 2 days, the entire country has been agog of what about Sheila Dikshit, who was Sheila Dikshit, and it has been substantially proved that the loss of Sheila Dikshit is not a loss of any political party, rather it is a loss of our nation.
In fact, Sheila Dikshit ji, I know her for the last 35 years. When I was a member of parliament, she was a central minister. When I was secretary AICC, she was the PCC president here. During our tenure only, she was appointed as the chief minister. And she served the Delhi people in a dedicated manner. All the development which you are seeing today is visible because of Sheila Dikshit, the chief minister for 15 years. In fact, she is a very fine personality, moved with people affectionately. She called me several times to her house, and it was a very hospitable person. And apart from that, she loved the people of Delhi. She wanted that visible development should be there in Delhi. In fact, from my side I could find that the kind of love and affection she had with the people of Delhi is visible from flyovers, massive construction she made, the metro rail, all these things are there. And her loss is a very big loss for the people of Delhi actually.
And so for the Congress party, do you think it's left a vacuum somewhere in Delhi?
As for Delhi, she is a tall leader, and she was instrumental in bringing Congress government continuously because of her tireless work in the Congress party. Congress party lost a tallest leader of Delhi.
One very quick question, sir. What's your memory of her? How will you remember her?
In fact, I was apart from I connected with her as I was in charge of Delhi here. At the time of election of the Chief Minister of Puducherry, Honorable former Congress President, UPA Chairperson, Sonia Gandhi ji sent her as an observer there, along with Sri Mukul Vasnik. She selected me as Chief Minister. This is my fond memory with her.
We see a number of leaders who've already come to pay tribute. Let's talk a little bit more about the legacy that Sheila Dikshit leaves behind, not just in the national capital and not just in the Congress party, but for this country as a whole. Let's say good afternoon to Kamalmitra Chinoy, professor and political analyst who joins us from the national capital. Bharat Kumar Rao, senior journalist and former parliamentarian himself, joins us in the studios here in Mumbai. Professor Chinoy, let's begin with you. There are many political leaders who come along. Some end up leaving the sort of legacy where even your opponents have to grudgingly have respect for who you are, what you've done, and sort of the way that you have led in times of difficulty. What sort of a legacy? You've been living in the national capital. What sort of legacy do you think she leaves behind?
Oh, I think she has a very multifarious, very differently connected legacy at different points. For example, one thing that she raised amongst us when there was a mass delegation in India Gate was over Nirbhay, the woman who had been very severely injured and died. And Sheila ji came and called me and he said, "Why are you being tear gassed?" So I said, "Well, the police is doing it. They don't want us to be on India Gate." The next day when we went, and many days after that, a couple of weeks, we found that the Congress party was there and made sure that people could pay their homage to Nirbhay. Another moment that I remember was a speech he made in Jantar Mantar, which is not usually a speech where big scholars or readers or typical politicians stay. They don't come there. But she came there, police was there, but the army officials who wanted a better pension, she spoke to them, and she answered them and said, "Yes, you have a point. I will speak to the government of India." So she was a person who was always looking for the good in something. And that is why she is so widely loved in this city, which is a multifarious city, has various different formations, politics, but because of what she was, the way she conducted herself, even till the end, when she was discussing, all right, what should we do in the coming Delhi elections? So she will not be forgotten, but she will always be remembered.
And Bharat Kumar Raut, you were a parliamentarian when she was Chief Minister of Delhi, if I'm not mistaken. And many people talk about how she was largely responsible for transforming the face of the national capital. The Commonwealth Games are around as well. So much was happening in the capital. And to her credit, the face of Delhi changed. For you as a parliamentarian, as a journalist yourself, watching all this unfold, what do you think is the lasting impression one would have of this tall leader?
Yeah, in my earlier comments I said she was really the Iron Lady of Delhi. Apart from being great administrator, she was an Iron Lady of Delhi. This is because I have seen Delhi making a facelift completely. On one side, the airport street 3 came into picture, the roads were widened and the flyovers came in, 3 ring routes. The 3 ring, those are responsible for decongestion of traffic in Delhi. That was because of 3 ring roads that she created. Apart from that, the metro railway, and that was also primarily responsible for decongestion of vehicular traffic and also making it safer and quicker and easier for the Delhiites to travel from place to place. That the whole thing happened during her time. And particularly, if you stay in Luton city, you know how difficult it could be to create tunnels all through, because there's all VIP area. But why I call her Iron Lady is because there was a lot of pressure, because all the big bungalows, the big villas and big bhavans and sadans, they were in this area, and the railway was going under that, and so that the construction of those tunnels was a huge task. There were pressures on her that, oh, after midnight you don't do this. But if she did not do it during midnight, then when does she do? Because during the day there was traffic. So she did not bust to any of the pressure, and she continued with the work. And in the record time, the tunnels were done, and before the Commonwealth Games happened, the Delhi Metro was operational. And that has really come as a very wonderful gift to the Delhiites. I think that was one thing. As when I was there in Parliament, and what I remember her, yes, she was a great administrator. She was, I said, Iron Lady. Apart from that, she had the statesmanship quality.
Yeah.
That many of us don't really remember or don't realize, because that remained under the ground. When Kejriwal's Anna Hazare's agitation was going on, Delhi was agog with the news. All anti-Congress, anti-Delhi. Then there was a rape case in Delhi. And during that time, she was the chief minister. She was facing all this. That all the agony she was facing, but she played the whole thing so carefully that she remained safe. At the same time, the Congress High Command did not face any problem during that time. That was the statesmanship that we saw when this Anna Hazare agitation was going on. At the same time, she always remained in background. She never came for surface. So that was another quality of her as a statesperson.
Right, and we've seen, as we said, leaders from all political parties of all different shapes and sizes come out to pay tribute. Here are a couple of them. Here is Arvind Kejriwal, the current Chief Minister, and Rajnath Singh, Union Minister, both speaking as they pay tribute to Sheila Dikshit.
आकस्मिक निधन की खबर मिलने से हम सब लोगों को बेहद दुख हुआ। दिल्ली के लोग उनको बहुत मिस करेंगे। दिल्ली के लिए उन्होंने बहुत काम किया था। दिल्ली के लोग उन्हें बहुत प्यार करते हैं। हालांकि हम अलग अलग पार्टी से थे, लेकिन जब भी उनसे मुलाकात होती थी वो बहुत ही स्नेह और प्यार से सबसे मिला करती थी। और मैं भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूं कि उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे और उनके घर के लोगों को, दोस्तों को ये दुख बर्दाश्त करने की शक्ति दें।
शीला दीक्षित जी के न रहने से एक बड़ी क्षति हुई है। इसलिए मैं बड़ी क्षति मानता हूं क्योंकि शीला दीक्षित जी इस देश के बहुत ही सीजन्ड पॉलिटिशियंस में से उनकी गणना की जाती थी। और आपने देखा ताजिंदगी जो उन्होंने राजनीति की है वो कभी भी उनके ऊपर कोई दाग नहीं लगा है। एक बेदाग राजनीतिक जीवन रहा है।
Professor Chinoy, there are very few politicians in today's day and age who have the ability to talk to leaders from other parties. In this very vitiated political atmosphere, it's very rare to find a leader who has the ability to reach out to another political party, have a conversation respectfully, and Sheila Dikshit was that sort of a rare politician.
Look, I can tell you of one meeting which was of multiple parties, and that was Dinesh Trivedi from TMC, Devi Prasad Tripathi from NCP, another friend of Sheila Dikshit in the Congress, and Sheila Dikshit herself, and I. And she noticed that Dinesh Trivedi had 2 mobile phones with him. So she said, Dinesh, why do you need 2 mobile phones? We're in an apartment here, and why do you need to have 2? Are you going to have 1 in each hand? So with that joke, the understanding of people, they laughed. And then, even then, when they were discussing political issues, she was very sharp but very coherent. And that is when, in a small gathering or not such a large gathering, you could see the quality of her mind and the way she undertook a relationship with other non-Congress groups in order to get a coherent and actually mobile Delhi citizenry together. So she will be never left out of the discussion of Delhi. And she will be very difficult to replace for the Congress or any party that comes after her. But I think the good thing is that, especially through this kind of video footage, etc., that people are now realizing what kind of leader they have lost and the extreme difficulty of finding such a humane, intellectual, and giving leader.
Right, and she was that, Bharat Kumar Raut, for the people of the national capital. So much so for the cadre of the Congress party, because in times of trouble, ahead of these Lok Sabha elections, yes, the Congress may have lost. However, who does the leadership of the Congress party turn to when the Congress looks like it's in trouble in the national capital? Sheila Dikshit again.
Yes, she was really a troubleshooter for Congress. And not now, but from 2003 or even before that, she has been carrying that responsibility on her shoulder. I distinctly remember it is very difficult for a chief minister of a different party than one working in the union government.
That's true.
Particularly in Delhi chief minister to work with that. And when Sheila ji, when she became chief minister for the first time, it was BJP government in Delhi. But she managed with Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, and then she carried on the show. And so, because Congress came into power in 2004, for the first year of Sheila Dikshit, it was Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government, and she managed relationship with Atal Bihari ji with them. And what I told you earlier in earlier show also, that she had friends in all political parties. All political parties. Perhaps she had a sore relationship with Arvind Kejriwal for some time, but otherwise with all political parties, whether it was Sharad Pawar, it was Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Chandrasekhar, she had wonderful relationship with them, and that really helped her, and rather that really helped the development of the Delhi. Another quality which I would like to recall at this moment is, unlike many politicians from Delhi, she never nursed the ambitions of national politics.
Yeah.
She wanted to be focused in Delhi and focused in Congress, and that gave, because of this quality, she did not nurse any national ambition. That kept her concentrated on Delhi, and the Delhi took the facelift because she was 24/7 dedicated to Delhi politics, and that is, I think, should come as a quality, because before her was Sushma Swaraj. She was, of course, in national politics all the time. Then after that came in Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal is also nursing the national ambitions. Aam Aadmi Party is having a national outlook, and Arvind Kejriwal, from Haryana to Punjab to Delhi to many other states, he keeps traveling. But here there was one woman who always concentrated on Delhi, and that's why she could successfully organize Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
We forget that contribution of her in Commonwealth Games, because had Sheila Dikshit failed there, our nose would have been cut at the international level. But she did everything as per the schedule, rather before schedule.
Right. And Kamal, I think people tend to forget, people tend to understate how difficult it is. Bharat Kumar Raut alluded to it when he said that it's tough when you are not the party in power in the center, yet you are the chief minister of the national capital region. It is difficult, but she was able to overcome those differences. You had a sort of ringside seat to what was going on in the capital. If you can tell us, shed a little more light on how she was able to take the central government along, a BJP government in the center, and yet execute big plans for the national capital.
Number one, we must remember that she comes from a political family. And that helped shape her mindset. It helped shape her techniques of dealing with people, and the openness which she had to discuss differences about policies. So that really was one thing. But I think the important thing is how quick she was. A lot has been said about the Commonwealth Games, but look at the period in which the Commonwealth Games were put together. It was very swift. Then at that time, the media said, oh, there's going to be problems here, problems there, it's not been adequately done, it's haphazard, etc. All that was not true. Plus, she knew how to deal with an opponent. I am myself aware at one stage, some distance away, seeing an animated discussion between Sheila Dikshit and Arvind Kejriwal. After the discussion was over, Arvind Kejriwal spoke to his friends, and one of them told me that, look, Sheila was so forthright, but immensely committed to Delhi, that even Kejriwal said, yes, she is not in our party, but she is bigger than our party, and she's necessary for Delhi. And if you ask any number of politicians in Delhi, they will more or less say the same thing. So she was one of a kind, and Delhi will miss her.
Professor Chinoy, with that, we'll have to leave it there. You have the last word on Sheila Dikshit today. Thanks so much for joining us, and to you, Bharat Kumar Raut, former parliamentarian himself, for joining us as the tributes continue to pour in. Sheila Dikshit being laid to rest in the national capital. India losing one of its tallest leaders, not just a former chief minister of Delhi. Thanks for watching.